So good morning, everyone, and setting up with your spinal reset, one behind your head and the other underneath your shoulder blades. So the one behind your head is at the tallest and the one underneath your shoulder blade is at the mid-level, and make sure it goes sideways as opposed to down your spine. And just let yourself drape over those blocks a little bit and allow those muscles underneath your collarbone to simply relax and soften. And as you lay here for a moment, just take a little inventory, what feels tight, and see if you can coax it to release, to soften, and let go. And allow your bones to actually fall more deeply into your back body as they're supported by the blocks. And you can soften your eyes a little bit. And just be aware of your breath as you softly inhale and gently exhale. Just observe the rhythm. Does the inhale and exhale feel of equal length? And then just notice the pause that's in between. And can you allow that pause to also be of equal length without you controlling it, letting it move on its own? And feel how it starts almost below your lungs, and that this natural rhythm is deep inside you. And when you can tune into that rhythm, you can allow your nervous system to literally relax and recharge and lengthen out to a softness that actually feels quite delicious. Take a few more breaths here. And then gently lift yourself up and remove your blocks and put them to the side for a moment. And lay your spine down upon the mat. Draw your knees into your chest and give yourself a hug and gently rock side to side. Circle those knees around and then circle them back in the opposite direction. Place both feet on the floor and pick up your right heel from the inside for half happy baby. Let that right thigh externally rotate out to the side as you begin to pump that thigh down towards the mat, and the sole of the foot faces the ceiling. Your entire leg is at a 90-degree angle. And the more you can allow that thigh bone to rotate out to the side, the more of an external rotation you will get in that hip socket. Now just hold it down the best you can, like you're trying to put the top of that thigh to the floor. Let your left thigh lean to the left and get a little deeper stretch. Then begin a single windshield wiper of straightening and bending that right leg. You won't get it straight all the way. We're just warming up and the hamstrings are not ready. But we're just kind of getting that into a mode of lengthening. And then bring that right ankle across. Lay it on top of the left thigh. Pick the left thigh up and thread your hands behind it. As you start to draw your left thigh towards you, use your right elbow to push that right thigh away. Again, make sure that your ankles and knees are at 90-degree angles as you begin to really pull that left thigh towards you. And you can do a few pulses or tugs just to see how it is. And then gently release and put that left foot on the floor and the right foot on the floor. Pick the left heel up from the inside for a half happy baby. Let the right thigh lean to the right. Let that left thigh externally rotate away from the torso and begin to pump that thigh down to the floor. Again, make sure the sole of the foot faces the ceiling. Now just hold it down the best you can and get a little more stretch. And then start your single windshield wiper of lengthening and bending that left leg. And then lengthen it the best you can and push that hand into the heel. Next, bring that ankle across on top of the thigh. Pick the right thigh up and thread your hands behind it. Keep the knees and ankles at a 90-degree angle and just give that right thigh some tugs towards your torso as you use your left elbow to push the left thigh away from you. And then gently release and put both feet on the floor. Next, pick up your long Theraband and place it over the sole of your right foot. Make sure that the Theraband is nice and flat and not bunched up. And then pulling your arms down so that the back of your arms are close to the earth. You're not going to have a real tight pull on the Theraband, but a general resistance. Now you can keep the left leg bent, or you can extend the left leg out upon the mat. Begin to pull on your left tail so that the sole of the foot turns inward, and then pull on your right tail so the sole of the foot faces out. So just rock that foot and ankle back and forth. And then come back to a neutral position and push the ball of the foot upwards and give your belt a little more resistance. And then flex the foot and pull down like you're pulling your toes towards your knee. Inhale, push the ball of the foot upwards and give some resistance in the band. And then exhale, pull down on that foot. One more time, push the ball of the foot towards the ceiling and then pull the toes down towards that knee. Come back to a neutral position with your foot. Place both tails of the band in your right hand. Take that right leg out to the side and circle it around towards the front of your mat and then pull it back up. And then take that foot out to the right again, circling that whole leg around and then pull it back up. Do this a couple of more times on your own, letting that femur just rotate in that hip socket. And then reverse it and go back the other way, letting it go forward and out and then back up. And forward and out and back up. Do this a couple of more times. And then come back to a neutral position. Place the tails, one in each hand, and bring your left leg up. Place the sole of the foot in the left leg and keep the right foot there for a moment. As you pull down gently on your tails, try to use the outside edges of your feet to open up that band. So the soles of the feet face the ceiling. The edges of the feet are literally pulling on the band. And then release. And then pull again with your feet and release. One more time, pull and release. Last one, and pull and release. Now slide that left foot towards the center and take the right foot out, and you can put the right foot on the mat or just extend the leg out. Keep the tails in one in each hand and start to pull down on your right hand and face the sole inward and rock it back so the sole faces outward. Rock that foot and ankle. And just observe, does one foot have more of a rotation or a range of motion than the other one? It's not a judgment, it's just an observation. Then come back to a neutral position and push the ball of the foot upwards, and then pull down and pull your toes towards your knee. Push the ball of the foot upwards and give some resistance. Exhale, pull down the toes towards the knee. Push upwards and pull down. One more time, push up with the ball and then pull down. Then gently come back to neutral as you place the belt in your left hand and let this left leg go out to the side, circle around, and hoist it back up. Let it go out to the side and around, hoist it back up. Do this a couple of more times, just feeling how that leg rotates in your hip socket. Last one. And then reverse it and go forward and circle out and around and up and forward and out and around and up. Forward, out and around and up. Last one, forward and out and around and up. Now bring that right foot back up again, put it on the band. Make sure the band is nice and flat, and then begin to pull the band apart with the edges of your feet. And this time, I want you to pulse. So you're pushing up with the balls of the feet and pulsing the outer edges of the feet into the band like you're trying to pull the band apart. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now hold and really try to pull for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pull the band off. Go ahead and bend your knees and do a little happy baby rock. Take your hands out to the side in T formation and simply let your knees fall over to the right for a moment. And you can put that right hand on the left outer leg and kind of pull that left rib cage to the left, a little gentle rock or pulse. And then gently release, bring the knees up and over to the left, put the left hand on the outer right, and again, you're going to gently rock with that right rib cage, pulling it to the right. And then come back to center and rock up to boat pose. Putting your feet up in the air, hands up, and then put the soles of the feet together. Cup the hands around the shins and lift up nice and tall. Exhale and round. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale and round. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale and round. This time as you come up, take your hands behind you, prong your fingers, push them into the earth, and tilt your pelvis a little more forward. Draw the toes back, but push the soles of the feet together. So the feet are very, very active and pushing hard against each other. The floor of the pelvis is parallel to the floor or your mat. Then broaden across your collarbone a little more and lengthen through the back of the neck. And gently release. So we're going to use our sliders, and if you're doing this at home, you can grab a couple of washcloths on the floor, and I'm going to turn the lights on. And grab one of your blocks. No, it's still sticky, huh? Yeah, it feels better on my heels. Okay, push it out and pull it in. Push it forward and pull it in. Out and in and forward and in. Out, in, forward. In and out, in, forward. And out, and forward, and out. Now put your block down and pull those sit bones back. And again, you want to get it to the point where the floor of the pelvis is parallel. And notice how the feet are straight up. They're not out, they're not in, but they're totally nice and straight. And then you can put your forearms on your block for a moment. Right here, tone your core and pull your inner thighs down. So I'm rolling these down. At the same time, I'm activating these outside muscles on my hips and pulling back. These are opposing muscles that help your pelvis. And gently release. Put your block to the side. And go ahead and bring your feet in, knees are bent, and we'll do a little windshield wipers. I guess we're going to get some more rain today, yes? Yeah. So as you bring one knee in, really twist, and then bring the other knee in and twist. And come back around. So we're going to come on to all fours, and you may want to put a blanket underneath your knees. When you come into all fours, make sure that the hands are slightly in front of your shoulders and the fingers are slightly turned out. And if you look back, your knees are slightly behind your hip sockets. So begin any type of cat-cow that feels good on your spine this morning. You can do a regular extension or flexion, or you can do some barrel rolls with your torso. And if you do that, make sure you go in both directions. And you can even wag the tail like a dog. Now come back to a neutral position and turn your right fingers back towards you and gently pull back for a forearm stretch. And you can do a little pulse. And then turn the fingers forward. And then turn the left fingers back and pull back. And then come back. Now lift your right arm up and turn your torso to the right. And then dive down and thread your right hand underneath your left arm. Bend your left arm at a 90-degree angle as you reach your right hand to the left. This is called thread the needle. And then inhale, draw the hand back up, open it up, and put it on the floor. Then inhale, lift the left hand up. Thread it down underneath. Reach that left hand to the right. Push in with your right hand and see if you can open up a little more. And then inhale and come back to center. Then part the knees, bring the big toes together, and just sit back into a child's pose here. And you can kind of move your hips side to side. And then lift back up and walk the hands forward. And I have to move my blanket back further on my mat so that now the hips are over the knees and the hands are forward and pronging the fingers into the earth. Allow your armpits to actually move towards the earth, your heart, your sternum, and your head. And then inhale as you come up, round through your back, flattening your hands and coming into a lazy up dog and letting your hips rock. And then pushing back into a puppy pose, pronging the fingers. Hips don't go all the way down. Inhale, come back up as you round through into a gentle sling dog or up dog. Inhale and come back. You're going to walk your hands back, come onto the balls of your feet. You can move your blanket off the mat and simply push in and lift your hips. Now see that your feet are hip distance apart. And go ahead and intertwine your arms and allow gravity to pull on you. But as you do that, really tone your legs. Feel the stability in the legs so that your upper body has a chance to allow gravity to take over. Then place your hands on the floor, pronging your fingers and lifting your torso. And then bring your hands to your hips and roll your shoulder sockets towards your back body as you stand all the way up and bring your hands up over your head and into your heart. So why don't we go ahead and grab our Theraband one more time. Placing your feet so they are hip distance apart and parallel, not turned out. Make sure the inside edges of your feet are parallel. Holding the band in front of you, hooked over your thumbs, simply pull the band apart and back together, and out, and back, and 3, and back, 4, and 5, use your back muscles, 6 rather than your arms, 7, and 8. Now hold, now really pull those shoulder blades towards the spine and release. Take the band up and over to the right, hand over your ear and simply pull down and up and down and up and 3 and 4. And you're going to come up and over and down. Up, 2 and 3 and 4. And come back up. Put your band on the floor where you can reach it. Now, step your right foot towards your left corner and bring your left foot behind for a crisscross. And I've got my feet, they're not together like this, but they're actually separated. So now I can squeeze my thighs together for stability. I know. Squeeze the thighs, feel that, the strength in your thighs. Now tone your core. Do you feel that strength and stability? Now lift your hands up, grab onto your left wrist as you reach over gently to your right. Inhale and come back to center. Lower the hands down and switch feet. Take the left foot towards that right corner. For those of you who took ballet, it's kind of a modified position 4. Yeah, and then inhale and lift up. Take hold of that right wrist and reach over to the left. And inhale and come back up and lower down. Now go ahead and bring the feet together, and one more time, lift up. Grab onto that right wrist and reach now over to the left. Let the right hips go to the right. Inhale and come back up. Exhale and lower down. Inhale, lift up and reach over to the left, or to the right with the left hand. Inhale and come back and lower down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bring the hands together as you trace down the center of your midline. Bend your knees, put your hands on the floor, and walk your feet back to a downward facing dog. And go ahead and walk your dog very gently, putting one heel down and then the other, stretching through the calves. And then coming back to a neutral position, push your hands forward. This will put more weight in your feet. Now, on an inhale, come forward into a plank pose. Lower your knees down and come all the way down to the mat. Lay your forearm on the mat, each of them, in Sphinx pose. And turn your inner thighs inward and up to the sky. Now, make sure that your elbows are underneath your shoulders. Click your toenails into the mat. You'll feel your knees lift. Tone your belly and draw your tailbone towards your heels. Feel how that protects and supports your low back. Now, start to draw your right ribs towards your left forearm. And you'll feel a stretch on the inside of the right pelvis. And then inhale and come back through center. Pull your left ribs towards the right forearm and come back to center. Now, slide your left hand forward, roll onto your left side and stack your hips. Put your head on your arms so that it's supported. Now draw the right knee up and touch the right elbow and extend it out. Inhale, draw that knee up and touch and extend it out. And this time as you draw it up and touch, take that right hand and clasp that ankle bone and then lower that right knee so it's in line with your hip socket. And then make it a nice straight line and start to pull the knee behind you for a quad stretch. Anybody feel this? Yeah. So you actually want to arch your back a little bit here, particularly behind your shoulders, not in your low back. Push the foot into your hand or the ankle into your hand. Have the hand resist. The more you can take the knee behind you, the more you're going to stretch that big quad muscle. And then gently release. Come onto your tummy. Slide your right hand forward. Roll onto your right side. Bend the knees and stack your hips. Prong your left fingers into the mat and bring that knee up and touch and extend it back out. Draw the knee up and touch the elbow and extend it back out. Draw it in and touch. Take the hand, grab that ankle and bring that knee into alignment with your hip so it's not flying up in the air, it's one long line. Then you can start to take that knee back. Actually, even roll that left shoulder back a little bit. Push the foot into the hand and the hand into the foot. And then gently release and come back onto your tummy. Lay your hands underneath your chin, stack them on top of each other. Bend your knees and take your knees a little wider and simply wag your shins. This is called wag the tail. And just let them rock side to side. And then come back to center as you place your hands. And this time, if you want to grab your blanket again, you can for your knees, but also grab your blocks and step your right foot to the outside for a high lizard pose. Now turn those right toes towards 2 o'clock and then begin to take that knee out over the toes. You're going to simply rock back and forth. And then really hold it out there, maybe move the blocks over a little bit, so that not only are you getting a stretch in the groin, but you're also getting an Achilles stretch in the heel. So the more you can encourage that knee out over, the better. And then simply shift back, place the blocks on either side. Make sure your left toes are uncurled. Now notice, is the left or the right hip hiked up? If it is, can you roll it under and pull that sit bone towards the tailbone? Push the mound of the big toe forward. Now lift and lengthen through your spine. Get long and tall, and then hinge out over that leg. Come up and rock forward again, and then rock back again. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale and hinge. One more time. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Rock forward, rock back, and bow. And then gently bring the blocks around to the front and let's switch legs. Step that left foot out, turn it towards 10 o'clock. And again, you're just going to do a gentle rock here, really warming up that Achilles and knee, trying to get the knee out over those toes. And then just hold it for a moment. And then shift back. Bring the blocks on either side. Pull the toes towards you. And once again, if that left hip is hiked up, roll it underneath. It's like you're taking that sit bone and drawing it towards your tailbone, but at the same time, you're pushing through the mound of the big toe. Lift and lengthen and hinge. And then you're going to rock forward and rock back. Inhale, lift and lengthen, and rock forward and back. Last time, forward and back. Now here, lift up, lengthen, and hinge. Inhale and come forward. Put your blocks down at the top of your mat. Take a downward facing dog. And again now, walk your dog and see if the heels and ankles don't feel a little better. And then come down to your knees and all the way down, chaturanga again. This time, take your hands out in a T, kind of a Y formation, not a T formation, a Y formation, and prong your fingers. Now you're gonna push in and gently lift up. This is wide cobra. And lower down. Make sure that the inner thighs are turned to the sky and all 10 toes are on the mat. Pull the hands back about 6 inches. Inhale and come up again. And lower down. This time pull them back one more time. Come on up. And back down. Now place them on either side of your chest. Anchor those toenails into the mat. Draw the shoulders towards the ears, like you're pulling yourself forward as you curl up behind your heart and come into a full cobra. And then gently pushing back, adjusting your hands, tucking your toes and coming up to down dog, and then walking to the top of your mat. Once you come into a Uttanasana, prong your fingers and lift your heart. Exhale and fold. Inhale and rise up all the way. Urdhva Hastasana, hands into Anjali Mudra. So now we're going to face the closet. Put your blocks behind you. And Linda, if you want to turn and face the other way so you can see or look in the mirror, either one, because you're pretty good at. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. So we're going to step our feet nice and wide into Pasarda Padottanasana, and make sure that the outside edges of your feet are parallel. And I would say everybody needs to go a little wider. Yeah, good. Now lift your toes, but root the ball and the heel of your feet. When you do this, can you isometrically squeeze the legs together? Do you feel that?
Yes.
Yeah. Tone your core and pull up from the floor of your pelvis. So you have stability in your lower body and freedom in your upper body. Take your hands out to the sides and then lift them up over your head. And then exhale, you're gonna dive out over. And you should be able to touch the floor without your blocks because your feet are nice and wide. Maybe you get down here and you go, I can open up my feet a little more even. Oh my gosh. And then push the finger pads into the earth and lift your torso to a tabletop. Then exhale and fold and let your head come down. Really squeeze those legs together. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. And then this time come to full tabletop and bring your hands to your hips. Roll your shoulders on your back and come on up. Now we're going to rock onto our left foot and turn it towards the front of the room. And then come into your warrior two. Now be aware where your pelvis is. It's not to the front. If you can get to the side, that's great. A lot of people are at a slight diagonal, but you don't want to be on that full diagonal. So right here, and then take the hands out. Now lift the palms and bring them overhead as you straighten that front leg. As you exhale, bend into that warrior two. Inhale and lift up, star pose. Exhale into warrior two. Inhale, come into your star pose. Take the hands behind you. Interlace the fingers, lift the heart, bend into that knee, and now bow towards that front corner of your mat. Then inhale and come back up. Bring the hands all the way up. Straighten that front leg. You're going to turn on that heel. And we're going to go to the back wall, same thing. Turn those right toes and open up. Bend into your warrior two. Inhale, come into your star pose and straighten. Inhale into your warrior two. Inhale, lift up, star pose. This time as you come back into your warrior two, take the hands behind you. Interlace, lift and lengthen through the spine. This is called humble warrior. As you bow towards that corner, make sure that front foot is, if anything, the heel is pulling towards the midline and the knee is rotating outward, not inward. Inhale and come back up and turn the toes. Bring the hands up over your head as you step the feet together and bring the hands down. Good, we're coming down. So grab your blocks and place them on top of each other. And have a seat. Make sure the feet are nice and wide and grab your Theraband again. And as you sit here and you feel your sit bones on the blocks, yes? That's good. Actually, if they're not equal, pull them back. I think I told you I had a teacher that would actually come behind students, stick her hands underneath and pull them back. She was a character. And now anchor this left hand down. Lift the right hand up. Now first lengthen through that spine and then rotate towards that right. Look at that right thumb with your left eye. Make sure you're toning your belly and lifting up and gently release. Anchor that right hand, extend the left, lift and lengthen through that spine. Now rotate towards that back left corner and look at that left thumb with your right eye. Inhale and come back to center. Put this down and take your blocks out and go ahead and come on down to the floor. So we're going to start with our block in between our feet. So my block is pretty far forward. I don't have it up close to my pelvis. I like this nice big diamond. And I'm going to take my sit bones and pull them back and then push my hands and fingers in so that I can lift up. Pull your toes back and really use the ball of the foot and the heel and press it into the block. And you should feel this inner thigh and leg fire up. We need that for balance. And I've been listening over the holiday a lot of tapes about balance. And this inner line is so important to keep strong. And then gently release. And then put the block to the side. Bring the feet together. Now you're going to put your hands on the floor. Lift your hips and scoot forward. And then walk the hands in. So you can be back here or you can rock forward. So I'm literally rocking my pelvis forward. So now the floor of the pelvis is parallel to the mat and the floor. And then I can push in and lift up. Yes, nice and strong. Pull those toes back and then gently release. Now we're just going to scoot back again and extend the legs out nice and long. Draw the sit bones back. Take your right hand, put it underneath your knee and pull it in and extend it out and pull it in. So I'm keeping my hand here because my knee may not like the flexion. So I'm giving it space right up under the knee. Yes, that. Now here, pull the hand out and let it fall. And bring it back up and let it fall. And bring it back up and let it fall. Now pick the ankle up and put it on top. Yes. And then take your hands behind and push down once again. As you push down, you can take your right hand to the inner thigh, not the knee. Inner thigh, and I'm going to push that bone down and up and down and up. Look how I'm lifting and down and down. Now just hold it there. And now release your hand. Walk your hands back a little bit and pull your left knee in for a figure 4. Yeah. Now, everybody's down here in slumpasana. So you're gonna lift and lengthen and try to tilt your pelvis forward. That's the only thing you're trying to do is rock that pelvis forward. So the action is there. So literally the floor of my pelvis is doing that. So I'm rocking forward. Now this foot can't go to Shavasana yet. So push through the mound of the big toe to the left and draw the little toe back to the outside edge of the knee. And then gently release and put that foot out and down. Now we're gonna start all over on the other side. Take this left hand, put it right underneath the knee, pull it in and out. All I'm doing is pulling the knee back and forth. The hand behind the knee is supporting a space. And to here, now I'm gonna pull it out and I'm gonna let it go to the side and up and side. Now I'm trying to get into this femur and feel how it rotates in that hip socket. Now sitting up nice and tall, take your right hand to the right and towards the back, take your left hand to this knee, and, ooh, did we put it on top? No, we had it down. And we're gonna push and up, push and up, push and up, push and up. Last one. Did you find one knee rotates better than the other? Yeah, isn't that amazing? Now bring that ankle bone on top. You're gonna lean back and draw this knee in. And once again, walk your hands in so that you can lift up. Not down here in Hanchasana, but up and lifting. Even notice how my sternum lifts as I rock forward. Now, push the mound of the big toe out to the right and pull the mound of the little toe back. And gently release and undo and take your legs out in front. Now we're gonna start on the other side again. We're gonna take our hand, put it under the knee, pull that in and let it come to the side. Now I'm gonna place my foot right around the opposite knee and make sure you pull those sit bones back. Then grab your Theraband and place it over the sole of your left foot. So your left leg is forward, your right leg is bent, and the sole of the right foot wraps around the inside of the knee. Yeah. And then sit up nice and tall. Notice how I can have my shoulders forward and the eyes of the elbows in. If I lift up, I roll the eyes of those elbows out. Now I can pull my elbows right beside me, and I can pull this left foot back. Do you feel the left hamstring when you do that? A little bit, okay? Now take your belt and walk your hands down, maybe to your knee or past your knee. Pull on the Theraband, and once again, you should have a nice curve in your low back, in your lumbar curve, lifting up and lengthening. Now you're gonna hinge forward. Keep your chin in a neutral position and hinge out over that leg. As you move out over that left leg, pull the left thigh to the floor. Now, take hold of your belt and maybe move your hands down towards your foot. Grab onto the tails once again. Lift and lengthen through that spine. Exhale and hinge. I'm pushing that foot into the knee and pushing that right knee out. I'm pulling the left inner thigh down, lengthening through the spine and hinging again. Do you feel this in your low back? Huh? Okay. And inhale and release. Put that right foot out. Take your hand behind the left knee. Pull it in. Let it fall to the side. Scoop that left foot around that right knee and take your belt and belt your right foot. So again, I'm going to take and roll the eyes of the elbows up, pull those elbows in, sitting up nice and tall and hinging, and then taking the belt and walking my hands further down, grabbing onto the tails, lift and lengthen, yes, exhale and hinge. One more time, maybe you can walk your hands down closer to the foot. Inhale, lift and lengthen through that spine. Keep the back of the neck in a neutral position as you hinge out over that leg. Push the foot into the knee and the knee into the foot. Draw the inner right thigh down. Push that out, left knee outward. And then inhale and come back up. Then we're going to bring the soles of the feet together one more time. Take the hands behind, maybe scoot a little more forward, whatever is comfortable for you. Draw the soles or the toes back, but push the soles of the feet together. And then go ahead and do a little flap. And again, be aware of the floor of the pelvis. And is it facing the floor? And then gently release, lift the knees up, extend your legs out and come onto your backs. And I'll get the lights. Draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice big hug and rock side to side. Then place your feet on the floor. Take your hands out in T formation. Step into your feet and move your hips to the left edge of your mat. And then allow the knees to fall over to the right. There you go. Now crab walk that right shoulder to the right a little more so the left shoulder can come down. You can bring your right hand to the outside edge of your left knee for a little more anchoring of that knee and hip. On an inhale, lengthen from your tailbone to the crown of your head. On an exhale, turn back and look at your left hand. Enjoy your breath and enjoy your twist. And then inhale, come back to center. Lift your knees up and center yourself in the middle of your mat. And just notice, does one side feel different? And then gently step into your feet, lift your hips, place your hips on the right side of your mat, and then take the knees over to the left. Now crab walk that left shoulder to the left, a little more, yeah. And notice how you can get that right shoulder down. On an inhale, lengthen through your spine. And on an exhale, turn your head back and look at your right hand. Make sure the palm is up to the sky so that the shoulder socket is rotated externally. Then inhale and come back to center. Shift your hips. Extend the legs out nice and long. Lift the fingers up to the ceiling. Draw your shoulders down to the mat and take your hands over your head. for a nice, long supine Tadasana stretch. And then gently release and bring your arms around beside you. Let your legs be slightly wider than your hips and your feet to actually fall away from the midline. Lift your heart a little bit and tuck those shoulders underneath. And allow your whole entire back body to settle from the back of your heels to the back of your calves, to the back of your shoulders and the back of your head. Even the head right behind your eyes. Now bring your awareness to your face and soften the skin on your forehead, all around your eyes, nose, and mouth. Release any tension you have in your jaw. Let your teeth part and your tongue rest. As you turn your eyes more deeply down into their sockets and move your gaze to deep within your heart as you ride the wave of your breath, Shavasana. Keeping your eyes closed, gently begin to deepen your breath. Bring life back into your toes and your fingers, your feet, your hands, your legs, and your arms. Lift your hands and arms up over your head and And take a nice, long stretch. And then slowly draw everything into your heart and roll to your right or left side, depending on what feels good to you. As you pause here for a moment and simply enjoy the sensations of your practice. Then gently place your hands and turn your heart even deeper towards the earth and push yourself up and come around to a seated position. Bring the soles of your palms together one last time. Thank you all for joining me today. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. That means may all beings be happy. May all beings be free. The light in my heart bows to the light in each of you. Namaste. Have a great Tuesday.